Hi, my name is Adrienne Hunsberger. I'm an extension agent with the University of Florida Miami-Dade County Extension Office, and welcome to South Florida Gardening. We're down here in Homestead, and believe it or not, this is winter, and this is a perfect time to start your winter vegetable garden. Usually in South Florida, we don't start our garden until about October or November each year. So what I wanted to show you today is how to put in a garden in South Florida. Now, because in Miami-Dade County we have very rocky soil and we have a lot of soil that has nematodes in it, we really advocate people to plant in raised bed gardens, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So basically for where you're going to put your garden, you want to look for the sunniest part of your yard. You want your garden, your vegetable garden, to be in full sun all day long. So that means you don't want to have your vegetable garden near any trees and shrubs that might cast some shade onto your garden. The other thing too is that you want to have it far enough away from any buildings that, again, your garden is going to be in sun all day long. Now here at the extension office, my garden is on the south side of the building, so I don't have anything to worry about as far as shade is concerned. The next thing you want to do is you can actually put your raised bed garden anywhere on the ground. So you don't need to be doing any digging, so this is kind of like a really easy method of putting in a garden. So you might want to maybe clear the area of any rocks and stones or branches, and maybe you can mow the grass, and that's about all you need to do. Now here at the extension office, I have a weed block fabric down, and that's just to keep the grass from growing up too close to my raised bed vegetable garden. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cover the area where I'm going to put my raised bed garden with cardboard. Now, the reason why I'm putting down cardboard is because we've got nematodes in the soil. I want to keep those nematodes, and they're like microscopic little, sort of like, look like tiny little worms. And I want to keep them from coming up into my raised bed garden. So if you put a physical barrier, such as cardboard or maybe a very thick layer of newspaper, that's going to keep those nematodes from going into your vegetable garden. I would not use plastic because plastic, you can't get any water draining out of it. Make sure you don't have any cracks or crevices. You want to have a complete layer of cardboard. Now today I don't have enough cardboard with me, but if you can overlap the cardboard like I've done here, so that again you get that really nice thick layer to keep between the soil and your garden, that's really what you want to do. So the next step is I'm going to put in the sides of my garden. Now, for today, I'm going to be showing you how to use concrete block because that's what I happen to have. But you can use other materials, like you can use 2x8s or 2x10 lumber, or other types of lumber, landscape lumber that you want to use for the sides of your garden. The nice thing about using concrete block is that, let's say I don't like my garden here this year, I want to move my garden to another area. It's easy just to move everything to where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my concrete block down, or any side, bedding side that I'm going to be using. I want to again make sure that I've got my cardboard underneath it so that again it has that complete barrier between those nematodes and your garden. So I'm going to go ahead and keep laying down some concrete block. Okay, so I finished laying down the blocks. It really took me just a few minutes, but you can see I have a complete layer of cardboard and I have my blocks in place. And then the next thing is to add your soil. Now in a raised bed garden, the whole point of doing it this way is to produce a really nice medium for your plants to grow in. So what you're going to be adding in here is compost, or you can use potting soil. You just don't want to be adding anything that's got topsoil or earth in it, because the topsoil and the earth have the nematodes and the plant diseases that you're trying to avoid having in the first place. So today what I have is I've got some potting soil that's been made just for planting vegetables in. But again, you don't have to be that fussy. You can just find potting soil, or again, bag compost, or you can make your own compost and add it to your vegetable garden. I'm adding my my soil into my raised bed, I'm going to get to the level where it's about an inch below the top of my sides of my raised bed. That's so that when I water my garden, the water doesn't just run off the top of the soil. And what I'm going to do is, after I open up all the bags and I fill in my garden, I'm going to take my rake and I'm just going to level the top out really nicely. So this is a garden that I started 2 weeks ago. You can see that already my radishes, my beans, I have both pole beans, I have bush beans, even my little 2 broccoli plants are already coming up. Some plants grow faster than others. But I'm going to do future videos on how to plant your garden with either seeds or with transplants, and maybe additional information so that you'll have a successful garden in South Florida. This is Adrienne Hunsberger with the Miami-Dade Extension Office, and happy gardening!